Welcome, everyone. This is the MasterClass. My name is Patrick Nazareth. I have around 30 years of teaching experience and I would like to help dispel your doubts, should you have any. Today, we look at the lesson, The Great Automatic Grammatizator, written by Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl was a British writer. He was born in Wales to Norwegian parents in 1916 and died in 1990. During the Second World War, he was a fighter pilot. He started writing in the 1940s and became one of the most beloved children's authors of all time, writing classics like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, and BFG. He also had another side to him. He wrote dark stories for adults, filled with unexpected twists and dark humor. This particular lesson is one of those tales. His writing was simple but clever, often featuring ordinary people in extraordinary situations. Have you ever wondered what it would be like for this world to lose its creativity? What would happen if we were to give all our tasks to AI? We meet in an office. Two people, Mr. Bolin and Mr. Adolph Knipe. What are they discussing? A computing machine has just been completed, and Mr. Bolin is very happy with his work. The engineers have built something that now reduces to seconds, to minutes, calculations that would have taken hours and years of work. But Knipe is not happy. Somehow or the other, he doesn't seem to share in his boss's joy. The boss forces him to take a holiday. He thinks maybe he could rediscover his spark if he takes a holiday. But when he does go home, we discover his secret passion and why he is always unhappy. Adolph Knipe is a failed author. He writes stories. 566 of them he has written, but none of them have been published. He's typing out another story when suddenly this idea hits him. If I can build a machine that can compute, granted, it's a mathematical machine, and calculations are based on strict rules and principles. But surely English stories are also based on grammar? And isn't grammar all about strict rules? He spends the rest of his holiday feverishly drawing blueprints, filling the apartment with pages and pages of notes and drawings. Finally, when everything is ready, he takes it in to Mr. Bolin. He tries to convince the owner to put in money into his machine. He says, look around us. Everything is mass-produced. It is the era of industrialization after all. People who make chairs by hand, who make carpets by hand, anybody who is a skilled artisan is going out of business because machines can produce many more goods than they could ever dream of. Bolin is unconvinced. How will he be able to recover his investment? That is when Knipe plays his trump card. He shows Bolin how stories can be monetized. A magazine pays out $2,500 per story. And if they were to get their stories accepted, in next to no time, they would earn a lot of money. How did he propose to do this? This machine of his would deliver stories that were almost instantaneous. No human writer could compare because obviously it takes them a long time to write, to polish the stories and then to submit it. He finally manages to convince Mr. Bolin. They agree to secretly build the machine and see what will happen. Bolin keeps on thinking of the $2,500 per story that he will get. The machine is built. It is housed in a separate building. Nobody is allowed to go there. Everybody is simply told that it is another version of the computing machine. The great day is dawned. The machine is ready. It is time for the first test. Knipe starts his machine. Within seconds, a page pops out. What is written on the page? Utter and complete gibberish. It makes no sense whatsoever. Bolin is discouraged. The test has failed. Knipe pushes him again to try it. He says, don't worry, it will work. The next time, the second test. Again, it is a failure. Again, it is gibberish. But Adolph Knipe realizes one thing very important. This time, all the words are strung together. There are no periods, there are no punctuations, there are no spaces. And this is something that he can fix. Finally, both of them meet with success. The machine works perfectly. It produces a complete short story. What is it about? A boy who tricks his way into success. A literary agency is set up. Knipe is put in charge. They start mailing out stories. Money starts coming in. 5 of the first 12 stories are accepted. Within 6 months, they're producing and selling 30 stories per week. How are these stories published? Some stories are published under the name of Adolph Knipe. Names are invented, and still others under the name of Bolin. Mr. Bolin begins to be happy when people start to recognize him. He understands that they look at him with respect because he is a published writer. He begins to think, I would like to write one as well. So he brings this idea to Knipe. Do you think we can expand to novels? And I'm not really very happy with the stories you're putting my name to. It's not really good. I think you're saving the best for yourself. Adolph Knipe agrees. And he takes some time to study the books that had hit the bestseller list. And he noticed they all had a very important ingredient, passion. He adapts the machine, puts in complex controls. He prepared 2 special pedals. You could control the amount of passion that would get into your book. The author tells us it was like flying a plane, driving a car, playing an organ, and all at the same time. So we have theme selectors. You could select the genre. You could study mystery. You could select romance. You could select crime, whatever you want. Mr. Bolin is invited to try it out. He gets into it. He tries to run it. He gets panic-stricken and he starts to hit the passion pedals more and more. The result? A novel that is very vulgar. Mr. Bolin is discouraged. Knipe works on him. Don't worry, try it again. This time, the novel comes out better. It is accepted and published. The 2 of them are not just rich, but they're getting famous as well. Adolph Knipe comes up with another plan. He thinks to himself, why not eliminate all competition? He says he will go to the real writers. He will pay them money to do what? To stop writing and allow him to publish books in their name. Mr. Bolin is hesitant. He says, why would anybody want to do that? Why would I want to put money into it? But by now, Adolph Knipe has the upper hand and Bolin agrees. Knipe has a list of authors. He goes to the first on his list, the best of them. When he puts forward his proposal, he's politely shown the door. The chosen author thinks he is insane. He goes to a second writer. This writer attacks him with a paperweight and chases him down the drive, abusing him all the way. Is Adolph Knipe discouraged? No, he's not. He picks up the best of the romance novelists and he puts his idea to her. She comes with him, sees the machine, and using the machine, writes out a romance novel. When she sees what the machine has done, she immediately puts a signature to the contract. Bolin is happy, our first author. Knipe is more practical. The only reason she signed is because she understood that not only can this machine write stories, but it can write stories that are better than mine. Knipe changes his strategy. Instead of going for the best writers who are still getting published, he goes to writers who are looking to get established. He goes towards older writers who have run out of ideas, who are wondering what to base the next novel on. And they sign the contracts. Over several months, what is the end result? The machine produces half of all novels and stories that are published in English. 70% of writers sign the contracts. The secret spreads. All the writers out there get aware of what Knipe and Bolin are doing. They rush to get themselves signed up before they are left behind. Then we are told about the narrator, our friend who is telling us about the story. And he tells us he's got 9 starving children. In front of him is the contract. He is struggling to write a novel. He is worried. Should he choose between his family or should he live for his art? Who are the characters in the story then? Adolph Knipe, the main character. He is described as tall, thin, an untidy engineer with big ears and a long face. A brilliant person but unhappy at heart. He dreams of being a writer but is constantly rejected. He is creative, determined, and ultimately becomes ruthless in business. Mr. John Bolin, Knipe's boss, short and plump, with thin purple lips and nervous hands. A practical and money-minded gentleman. At first, he considers Knipe's idea crazy, but greed plays on him. Then, he begins to get vain about his writing success. The narrator who is telling us the story, a struggling writer, 9 starving children. He is faced with a cruel choice. Feed his family or betray his art. The famous female writer, a popular romance novelist who becomes the first writer of note to sign with Knipe after she sees the machine work. Various other writers mentioned briefly. The best who turns down Knipe politely, the writer who chases him out of his house, other writers, struggling ones, newer ones, who sign his contract. What are the settings in the story then? Mr. Bolin's office. A typical business office. It is where Knipe first presents his idea, where they meet when the computing machine is complete. Knipe's apartment. It's a small two-room place where Knipe does his rejected writing and first conceives the idea. The machine house. A separate brick building behind the factory filled with wires, switches, glass valves, and corridors. This is where the grammatizator lives. Various writers' homes where Knipe visits to make his business offers, showing the contrast between the artistic world and the commercial invasion that he is representing. The story? It is set in 1950s America during a time of growing automation and mass production. What are the literary devices in use here? Irony. The biggest irony is that Knipe, who desperately wants to be a writer, he creates a machine which destroys the writing profession. It's also ironic that Mr. Bolin becomes famous for writing novels, for stories in magazines that he never did. Satire. Dahl mocks the publishing industry, suggesting that these magazines care more about profit than they do about creativity or quality. He also satirizes how easily a story can be made to fit within a formula. Foreshadowing. Early mentions of mass production replacing handmade goods tell us what will happen to writing. Symbolism. The machine symbolizes industrialization at a massive scale and how it destroys creativity and art. The contract, the choice between money and artistic soul. Dark humor. The story is funny but disturbing, like comparing stories to inanimate objects like carpets or chairs, or the absurd idea of passion pedals. Metaphor. Writing is compared to manufacturing products. Writers are compared to oil companies being absorbed. What are the themes that run through this story? Art versus commerce. Can creativity actually be mass produced? Should art be treated like any other product? The story suggests that when profit becomes more important than quality, everyone loses. Technology and humanity. Technology makes life easier, but can also make us destroy what makes us human, our creativity, uniqueness, and soul. Integrity versus survival. The ending powerfully shows the conflict between staying true to your principles and taking care of your family. What price would you pay to survive? The death of individuality. When machines can copy human activity, what makes humans special? The fake names and formulas erase individual artistic voices. Greed and corruption. Money corrupts both the engineers who build the machine and the writers who sell out. Even art becomes just another business to monopolize. The value of human creativity. By showing us a world where machines replace writers, Roald Dahl makes us appreciate real human creativity and original thought. Prophetic writing. This story was written in 1954. It predicts today's modern society, where there are concerns about AI replacing human writers and artists, a topic that is extremely relevant today. Even you, I am sure, have used AI to do your homework from time to time. That's the story there for you then. I do hope I have been of help. If I have, please do remember to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, there might be others who would be requiring our help. Thank you so much for watching.